It is necessary to be a fox to discover the snares, and a lion to terrify the wolves. Your friends praise your speed, your team admires your heart, your audience likes your tone. None of them has money riding on your mistake. Your enemy does. He studies your rhythms like a safecracker, studies clicks. He times your replies, logs your public moods, and guesses your price within 1,000. You think you are spontaneous. He thinks you are scheduled. You think you are principled. He thinks you are predictable. He is closer to the truth. Picture the meeting that turns. A rival leaks a rumor at noon, then watches the clock. He knows you reply fast when you feel cornered, that you add smiley sentences to soften steel, that you drop your number if the thread goes public. He has a draft ready for each of your habits. Warm rebuttal, long explainer, brave discount. By 4 p.m., you've performed them all. He didn't outtalk you, he outmeasured you. He walked through a door you built with your own patterns. Your friends live in affection fog. They forgive missed deadlines, overlook tells, and explain away your blind spots as just your style. Their kindness warms you but does not protect you. Enemies live in attack clarity. They do not need to like you to map you. They do not console you when you flinch. They invoice you. The cruel advantage is simple. Hate watches closer than love. If you want the clearest mirror, stand in the light your enemy holds. It is bright. It is cold. It does not lie. Adopt the adversary's seat before they do. Take your chair, then shift one to the left their chair, and look at yourself from there. What would you test first? Your time, your face, or your need? If you had to crack you in a week, which trap would you set? A fake deadline, a flattering invitation, or a public dare? Price yourself from their angle. If your approval cost is high, give them fewer situations where approval decides outcomes. If your tempo is fast, lengthen at your windows until they cannot draft your moves in advance. Make this practical now. Start with tempo. The enemy expects the same pattern of acknowledgement and answer. Break the pattern. Acknowledge quickly. Decide later. He sets a noon fire. You give a 3-line receipt and schedule a next-day call with a fixed agenda. He paces. You measure. Fear migrates to his side because your silence is not a void, it is a vault. While he spends emotion to force speed, you collect information to price the field. Next, adjust optics. Your enemy doesn't need your feelings. He needs signals that predict them. Close the window. Neutral jaw, steady breath, small words, one response. No, just to clarify add-ons. Every extra sentence is an interest-free loan of leverage. When the bait arrives, if you really cared, you'd answer now. You let the line hang in the water and watch who tugs it. The room will call you cold. Let it talk. Cold is what heat calls steel. Then, examine need. What do you need so much that you would pay double to stop feeling the lack? To be chosen, to be seen as fair, to be praised in public. Your enemy will build the stage that sells you that feeling. Decline the ticket. Replace need with rules. Your response times, your decision points, your non-negotiables. Your friends will say you've changed. Your enemies will say you've become expensive. Both statements are proof you finally priced yourself. Thinking like an enemy does not make you paranoid. It makes you precise. You stop fighting shadows and start closing doors. You stop arguing and start setting terms. You stop reacting to heat and start reading fuel. And when you return to your own chair, you are not softer, you are simpler. People will understand you faster because your signals are clean. Your rivals will approach you slower because your patterns are closed. Stand where your enemy stands. Look at your face from there. Move once and make new patterns that cost them to read. What they cannot predict, they cannot cheaply defeat. Stand where your enemy stands, price yourself from there, then move. A prince must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten the wolves. You live in a world of banners and slogans. Goodwill is painted on the walls. Mission statements glow on the homepage. Leaders speak in familial tones. Charming, yes, but charm is not a shield. Stories give comfort, then lower your guard. The enemy is rarely a villain in a mask. The enemy is a cost hidden inside a compliment. Read the terms, not the tone. Start with the family lie. We're family. Sounds warm because family implies unconditional loyalty. But the moment a workplace borrows that word, it moves your boundaries off the ledger and into the realm of guilt. Family language becomes leverage to extract extra labor, to purchase forgiveness, to buy your silence at wholesale. The ask slides in with a smile. Can you stay this weekend? The product needs us. We're all hands here. Everyone is sacrificing. Watch the arithmetic. A family metaphor appears, and suddenly compensation discussions feel tacky, scope creep feels noble, and your calendar is treated like a communal pantry. When you push back, the spotlight turns. Are you not a team player? This is cost masked as intimacy. You are asked to fund the mission with time, focus, and often reputation, while decision rights and upside remain centralized. Real families share risk. Work family often means you pay and someone else decides. Reframe the language. When you hear, "We're family," translate in your mind, "We want access to your surplus without formal price." Replace the mood with a rule. I don't trade weekends for slogans. Show me scope, budget, and a clear rotation. You can be cordial and still refuse to mortgage your life to metaphor. People who truly value you will show it in terms, not lullabies. Now the second mask, virtue theater. Public values become negotiation stagecraft. You see posters, integrity, service, impact. You hear pledges, sustainability, equity, community. None of this is false. All of it can be used to compress your demands if you accept the moral frame without the financial one. If they can keep the conversation at the level of virtue, they can keep price off the table. Study how it plays out. During annual reviews, the narrative leans on mission before money. During vendor talks, the deck sings about partnership and legacy hours before the pricing page slides by. A manager praises your heart, your resilience, your cultural contribution, words that glow because they are free. Meanwhile, the raise band is locked by policy you never saw. In a crisis, communications center transparency, while crucial documents are routed to internal eyes only. Answer values with variables. If they say care, ask for headcount relief. If they say community, ask for paid time to serve. If they say sustainability, ask for budget to replace brittle systems. Insist that every moral claim carry a measurable counterpart date, owner, number. When talk stays beautiful but the sheet stays blank, you have learned what the virtue is worth at settlement. Negotiation theater ends when you bring lights, not when you clap harder. Third, the harmony tax. The urge to keep peace feels wise. In practice, avoiding friction today purchases a larger conflict tomorrow at compound interest. Unpenalized behavior repeats, scales, and recruits imitators. You think you are protecting culture by keeping it smooth. In truth, you are underwriting disorder. Begin small. A star contributor rolls eyes in stand-ups. You let it go to preserve momentum. A deadline slips with a polished apology. You accept it to stay positive. A client squeezes scope midstream. You swallow it to keep the relationship. The first time, the room learns the cost of disrespect, negligible. The second time, the room learns the strategy, escalate pressure, shape outcomes. The third time, the room learns your role, absorber in chief. Pay the tax once swiftly, fairly, with documentation and the economy changes. Quietly put the star on a behavior plan tied to incentives. Move the apologizer to a narrower scope with checkpoints and dates. Issue a change order to the client and pause work until it is signed. These are not dramatic punishments. They are visible costs. Signals make cultures, not speeches. People follow the path that gets results with the least pain. If the cheapest path is through you, they will walk it daily. Understand what your enemies exploit. Your longing to be good without being exact. Kindness without terms. Loyalty without sunset clauses. Values without budgets. Unity without debate. Each one is a door left ajar. The fox sees the hinge. The lion closes the door. You must be both. Detect the trap in language. Apply force in policy. Sentiment may decorate a room. Enforcement holds up the roof. Use clean tools. Convert every soft phrase into specific terms. We're family becomes we rotate weekends, capped at 1 per quarter with comp time attached. We value impact becomes quarterly scorecard, published to the org, driving compensation. We need harmony becomes we debate on Tuesdays, decide by Thursday, and enforce on Friday. When these lines exist, good people relax, opportunists lose oxygen. Carry this into your personal life. A friend borrows with warm words and late returns. A partner says, "Don't be difficult when you ask about plans." A group chat shames you for leaving early. The pattern is the same. You are asked to keep the peace by paying the bill. Replace apology with policy. I don't lend above what I can gift. We plan 1 week out. If not, I'm not attending. I leave at the time I set. Those sentences will cost you some company. They will buy you respect from the company that remains. Clarity is not cruelty. It is the maintenance of a world where kindness can survive. Wolves thrive in fog. Traps are built from stories. You can respect a mission and still audit it. You can love people and still charge price for your hours. You can support harmony and still enforce consequence. Refuse to be shamed by language designed to keep you soft. The fox smiles at the banner and reads the contract. The lion nods at the speech and moves the policy. Do not fear the end of comfort. Fear the cost of blind spots. You were not hired to be hugged. You were hired to deliver outcomes without betraying yourself. If others prefer hymns, let them sing. You will measure, you will decide, and you will act calmly, publicly, and on time. The culture will follow the signal. The wolves will learn to keep their distance. Honor the mission, price the cost, and make the boundary visible. Men are driven by 2 principal impulses, either by love or by fear. Your wounds make you readable. The need for approval, humiliation, sensitivity, and status anxiety are lanterns you carry into every room. They brighten your face when you should be dim, pull your voice forward when you should be still, and draft terms you regret. An enemy does not need brilliance if you are predictable. They only need to let your needs speak first. Strategy is beaten by tempo. Speed your heartbeat, buy your future. Start with a trigger inventory and be forensic. Fast replies are the first siren. Your phone vibrates, your fingers sprint, and you trade thinking for tempo. You answer at midnight to look committed, and you teach the other side their clock owns you. Over-explaining is fear in a suit. You drown a simple question in paragraphs, apologize before asking, and stack reasons like sandbags. The pile does not persuade. It maps where you expect pressure. Price drops are the third tell. A raised eyebrow becomes a discount you volunteer to keep the room warm. Public justifications complete, the set threads and speeches that leak your roadmaps. Write these 4 where you can see them. Fast reply, over-explain, price drop, public justify. If one appears, a wound is driving. Turn the inventory into ritual. Under heat, do 3 things. First, drop your breath to the belly for 2 full cycles. Second, lower your voice by half a note. Third, replace explanation with one narrow question. What exact outcome do you want? Or, which condition is blocking you? Questions force specifics. Specifics restrict manipulation. Write minimums, floor price, scope edges, response windows, and keep them. Calm is a timer that lets judgment arrive before your face moves. Now the need leash. The need to be liked lets others set tempo and terms. They praise your collaboration, then request exceptions. You call it relationship, they call it access. The need to be right keeps you arguing past advantage. You win the sentence and lose the deal. You keep debate alive because silence would feel like defeat. And while you are proving, they are positioning. The need to be seen as fair makes you split the difference, even when the difference is their invention. Needs pretend to be virtue. In practice, they are levers pulled by others. Tie each need to a loss pattern so you can see the bill. Approval need equals accelerated clocks, softer terms, and longer messages that reveal too much. Pride need equals extended debates, disclosure of strategy, and public promises that box you in. Certainty need equals premature commitments, rigid positions that cannot pivot, and refusal to walk away when the math has turned. Post these pairs where you decide. If you feel the itch to soothe, check the ledger, soothe later. Trade well now. Replace, I hope this works for you, with, here are the terms, confirm by Thursday noon. Replace, I can be flexible, with, scope changes price, list the changes. Humiliation loops cost more than mistakes. A public slight lands, someone questions your competence on a call. A rival clips you out of context. A client hints you are overpriced. Pride spikes, and you perform. You publish screenshots, reveal timelines, unpack costs, and promise bonuses to prove virtue. For 5 minutes, you feel clean. For weeks, you live with the consequences. Performance yields intel. You just revealed where the calendar is thin, which stakeholder is shaky, and which constraint hurts. Rivals bank the map and press later. Break the loop with boring strength. In public, scope instead of defend. We will address deliverables in the working session. In the room, sequence the tension. There are 3 issues, let's take them in order. After a hit, institute cooling periods. No public statements inside 24 hours. No concessions inside 72. When correction is required, make one small verifiable move, then go silent. Aim for endurance, not vindication. Relief sells tomorrow. Containment buys it back. Now study enemy scripts, because they are written for your wounds. Against approval seekers, fake deadlines and praise, then ask, we love your energy. If you can lock this by tonight, we'll champion you internally. The clock is counterfeit, the warmth is bait. Counter with pre-committed cooling windows and a written process. Decisions finalize after review tomorrow at noon. Against prideful leaders, baited debates. They pose a half-true challenge in public to make you teach them your playbook. Counter with one clarifying question and a move to scope. Name the specific risk. We'll handle it in the working session. Against status-anxious operators, social comparison. Another team shipped in a week. Counter with sequencing. Quality requires order. Earliest start after deposit is the 15th. They also weaponize silence. When you chase, you write their brief for them. Adopt the 2-touch rule. 1. Follow up. Then, wait. They weaponize flattery. Praise lowers your guard and raises their discount. Treat praise like perfume, enjoy it, don't swallow it. They weaponize scarcity. Only 2 spots left. If your model depends on their countdown, it is weak. Replace last chance with next review. A steady schedule starves their tactics. Make your counters mechanical so mood cannot veto them. Pre-commit to a pricing floor that only moves when scope changes on paper. Pre-commit to response windows you never violate, even to look eager. Pre-commit to never volunteering a discount unprompted. Pre-commit to no public engagement within a day of any public hit. Pre-commit to ending any debate after one unanswered question. Mechanisms defeat manipulation by removing your blush from the equation. The less your heartbeat matters, the more your rules do. What does it look like in practice? A prospect says, if you can match X by end of day, it's yours. Your chest tightens. You name the leash approval. You breathe low. We finalize after internal review tomorrow at noon. Here are the terms that travel. A panelist snipes at your numbers. The leash humiliation tugs. You partition. That's a scope question. We'll handle it in the working group. A partner compares you to a faster competitor. The leash status bites. You hold the gate. Quality requires sequence. Starts, follow, deposit. This is not about becoming stone. It is about becoming unreadable where it matters and reliable where it counts. You can still be warm, generous, even charming on schedule, within standards, never on a leash. Inventory the tells. Tie needs to their invoices. Refuse the theater of outrage. Name the traps before they spring. Let your procedures take the blows your pride wants to swing at. The crown does not stay on the loudest head. It stays on the steadiest neck and schedule. Slow is smooth. Smooth is power. Survival belongs to the one who controls the clock and the frame. It begins with tempo, not truth. A small provocation taps your nerves, a vague post, a smile with a blade hidden in the question, a rumor delivered as concern. You answer instantly. The reply is longer than your authority requires, warmer than your station allows. In that speed, you reveal need, the urge to be cleared, liked, obeyed. Your opponent does not argue the facts. He rewrites the frame. The new story is not what happened, but why are you so eager? In a breath you move from author to defendant. Walk the seconds the way an enemy would. 0. The jab. 1. Your paragraph. 3. For context, you leak details that belong only in a ledger. 5. He replies with one cold sentence. 9. He asks a short surgical question that widens the hole. 12. You contradict an earlier clause to plug the leak. 15. You begin the apology tour for tone, then content. 20. The leverage you held in silence is gone. Pace is power. The fastest voice becomes the easiest to steer. Make pace central to survival. Impose a tariff of time on every reply. Draft on paper, where there is no send button. Let one steady peer or counsel test your language for leaks before the crowd does. If they choose the hour, you choose the format. One paragraph with dates and nouns. If they choose the format, you choose the hour. You are not paid to flail. You are paid to decide. Silence is not surrender when it buys position. Now the contradiction cascade. Haste splits you into versions. At noon you claim principle. At 2 you plead feeling. At 6 you carve an exception. None is a lie. Together they look like design. Screenshots turn into coins. Each edit you intended as courtesy becomes a bargaining chip. You admitted X, therefore you owe Y. The archive becomes your prosecutor and the timeline your cross-examination. Volatility manufactures evidence because it supplies the other side with contrast, sequence, and receipts. The antidote is structure. Answer the charged claim, not its orbit. Swap fog for nouns, heat for dates, posture for records. Say it once, clearly, with proof and stop. Avoid memoir voice. Do the review in private. Present one clean page when ready. If you are wrong, name the act and the repair once. If you are right, let the clock spread your case. Brevity, properly armed, is armor. Coalition erosion follows the noise. Allies are not a cheering section. They are investors of their own risk. High-maintenance leaders drain calendars. People who play long games migrate to steady hands because steadiness lets them plan. When you flail in public, you make partners carry your weather. They hedge, not out of betrayal, but out of survival. The quiet, competent drift to quieter rooms. The opportunists linger because chaos offers angles. You do not lose everyone at once. You lose them appointment by appointment until the room is lighter and your load is heavier. Reverse it with cadence. Announce a rule to your inner circle. I will speak once, clearly, after verification. Keep it. Send short, factual updates before any public move, so allies are never surprised by your impulse. Reward the dependable in public, correct the volatile in private, and document both. Over time, your rhythm becomes a refuge. People attach to you not because you are loud, but because you are predictable under stress. Predictability is kindness in a coalition. Enemy mind also counts price. Lost face is not poetry, it is math. After you flail, your future terms worsen. Buyers widen the spread because they smell distress. Boards shorten the leash because your judgment looks expensive. Partners add oversight clauses. Teams receive more check-ins and fewer freedoms. The cost of capital on your name rises. Any negotiation you enter begins at a discount you created yesterday when you tried to buy relief with words. Reputation debt compounds. The interest is control surrendered to other hands. Quantify it so you respect it. A frantic thread can remove 10% from a valuation next quarter. A public contradiction can add months of oversight to a project and strip autonomy from your best people. A performative apology can harden into a permanent concession structure because once you bargain from guilt, the other side keeps pricing you as guilty. The bill grows quietly, then suddenly. Before any reply, ask, what is the price of silence? What is the price of speech? Which price buys position? Modern cases are plain. A client drags a discount fight into the feed. You want to clap back. You do not. You route the matter to the contract and answer once with dates and terms. The crowd gets bored. The client returns to math. A manager performs insolence for likes. You skip the sermon, issue a written correction on Wednesday noon, and enforce it Friday without theater. A former partner posts a personal story. You decline the stage. You speak one line to the only person owed an answer and close the door. Adopting enemy mind does not mean becoming cruel. It means learning how cruelty works so you can prevent it cheaply. Early, limited force prevents late excess. Resolve necessary harms in a single, exact act. Distribute benefits in regular, quiet doses. People can forgive a clean cut they saw coming. They will not forgive an endless drip of indecision. Design your ladder before the storm. Clear rule. Private warning with a clock. Measured consequence on schedule. Restoration path visible to all. Cold process. Warm tone. Return to tempo. Provocation is bait for time. The enemy does not need you to be wrong. He needs you to be rushed. He wants statements you must later edit. Edits you must later explain. Explanations that turn into concessions. Refuse the chain. If the matter is real, it will be real in an hour. Use that hour to gather records, calm your wound, and tighten your language. Move once, with weight. Let your silence signal that you are deciding, not reacting. Identity holds when you hold the hour. Lose the bike hour, and you sell pieces of yourself. First, your calm, then your credibility, then your price. Enemy mind is disciplined imagination. You see how your moves look from the other side before you make them. You reduce angles on your own name. You trade the sugar of relief for the protein of position. The crowd will forget the noise. The people who matter will remember that when the drumbeat quickened, you did not dance. Own the clock, own the frame. Calm is the table, enforcement is the ink. Drop the fantasy that people will read your heart and rearrange their lives around it. Rooms do not respond to hope, they respond to structure. In work, politics, intimacy, every tie is a negotiated machine of incentives, risk, and enforcement. When you understand that, you stop performing goodness and start designing order. You do not beg to be seen. You write terms that make your value visible and costly to violate. This is not romance dying. This is romance becoming governable. Respect before warmth. You can be liked without being respected, praised, invited, photographed yet quietly bypassed when decisions are made. Respect begins the moment you become predictable. If people cannot forecast you, they cannot plan with you. They plan around you. So, you train your weather. One tone on Monday and Friday, one policy at noon and at midnight. Your yes and no hold the same weight regardless of mood. Volatility buys applause and sells out authority. Rhythm buys trust and compounds it. At work, the manager who toggles between family speeches and surprise crackdowns dissolves cadence. The team smiles and hedges. Replace charisma with reliability. Publish priorities by noon Monday. Midweek check at 5. Friday wrap with next steps. Miss an upstream handoff twice and scope shrinks automatically. Next sprint, no drama, just sequence. In dating, charm gets a door opened. Reliability keeps the door unlocked. If you said no late night arguments, you keep the rule when you're tired, provoked, and tempted to prove a point. Predictability crowns respect. Terms over stories. Stories feel noble. We understand each other. We're aligned. Our hearts match. Under pressure, stories leak. Terms hold. Translate feelings into scope, cadence, and consequence. Scope. What exactly is promised and what is not? Cadence. When updates happen and when renegotiation windows open. Consequence. What changes? If the promise slips, simple words, written once, repeated calmly, enforced every time. Examples. Work. 3 deliverables by the 10th. Updates Tuesday and Friday. If a deliverable slips, scope reduces, not hours increase. Collaboration. 2 posts weekly. If either misses twice in a month, we pause or rebalance shares. Dating. We meet twice a week. Conflict moves to calm hours only. Cancellations with less than 6 hours notice cost the next slot. Politics. Budget published quarterly. Emergency powers sunset in 30 days, unless renewed with a supermajority. Alignment becomes measurable. Excuses become visible. Renegotiate only with new facts. New role, new market, new child facts. Busy. Crazy week. You know how it is, weather. If you let weather rewrite the contract, the room learns to pay you with storms. Keep your law where you placed it when you were calm. Adjust only when the world actually moves. This steadiness is not stubbornness, it is governance. People call it cold until they recognize how fair it feels over time. Signals, not pleas. Pleas are speeches designed to rent attention for one more day. Signals are patterns that buy trust for the long term. Reduce promises to near zero and increase observable signals. Set response windows you can keep and then keep them. If you reply in 24 hours, always do. If you need 48, claim it and meet it. Establish delivery rhythms. Tuesday and Friday, updates, first of month renegotiation, and hold them when you're tired. A rule that fails on bad days is decoration. Use signals to read others. After a miss, do they repair unprompted with a new plan and a make good, or do they perform a 10-minute apology and request grace? When you say 7 sharp, do they arrive at 7 or at 7:12 with 3 texts? When you decline respectfully, Do they escalate or adjust? People reveal their respect in how they handle your limits when no audience is watching. Collect those signals and price your access accordingly. Enforcement must be quiet and repeatable. Quiet means no lectures at the door. The door simply does not open early. Repeatable means the rule survives your worst day. Design boundaries that a tired version of you can execute. Meetings that start late, end on time. Raised voices end the talk until tomorrow. Chronic late cancellations lose priority in your calendar. You enforce like clockwork, not like thunder. Over weeks, the room tunes itself to your frequency or walks out. Either outcome is order. Convert morality into numbers. Be considerate becomes confirm by noon or I release the slot. Be loyal becomes shared dashboard and Friday numbers. Respect me becomes no public fights. Escalation pauses the conversation. People understand clocks, budgets, and access more than sermons. When the price is clear, decent people pay it, and indecent people reveal themselves without a debate. Ambiguity is the thief. Clarity is the lock. This is the reframe. It was never love doing the heavy lift. It was incentives aligned, risk priced, and rules enforced. When you get those right, affection stops being surveillance and becomes surplus. The room grows quiet because nobody is guessing the cost. You are trusted, not for your heart on the table, but for the order you keep around it. Warmth after respect becomes durable. Warmth before respect becomes bait. Sit at the calm table and write what you can keep. Crown predictability. Translate stories into scope, cadence, consequence. Replace pleas with signals that repeat. Renegotiate only with new facts. Enforce without heat and exit without noise. Then watch how fast chaos stops testing you, how quickly the serious step forward, and how cleanly your life organizes itself around the law you can live with. Order protects love, signals prove it. Men in general judge more by the eyes than by the hands, for everyone can see but few can feel. Niccolo Machiavelli, see the room as it sees you, and then see beneath it. The enemy mind system is not paranoia, it is preparation. You model incentives, you neutralize your tells, you collect by quiet, you think like an adversary, and you act once. Warmth is for friendship, clarity is for conflict. A prince who mistakes sentiment for strategy loses both. Begin with the motive grid, the living dashboard you update, not a poster you forget. 4 drivers: gain, fear, status, time. For each party, including you, write 1 sentence per box and score each from 1 to 10. Gain. What do they want that cashes money? Access, certainty, market share. Fear. What loss haunts them? Blame, exposure, delay, abandonment. Status. What identity must be protected? Expert, savior, rebel, kingmaker. Time. What clock beats them? Quarter, launch, election, visa, or a newborn arriving next month. Patterns decide your line of play. If their fear and time run hot, lower the temperature and slow the tempo. If status blazes, protect dignity before you press for facts. If gain dominates, speak in units, dates, deliverables, dollars, and remove adjectives from your mouth. Lock your pre-commitments next, the rules that govern you when insult and urgency bait you. 3 rules. Never decide at peak emotion. Never negotiate live. Never show surprise. You train micro-drills so these rules execute under heat. Breathe. 2 rounds of 4 in and 6 out. Shoulders low, jaw loose, eyes soft. Note: capture who, what, when, which clause, which dollar. Label the feeling with a single word: anger, fear, pride, so your mind returns to numbers. Delay. Use short scripts that buy clarity without ceding command. Received, reviewing. Update by 10 a.m. I'll reply tomorrow after I verify the documents. Practiced out loud. These lines arrive clean when your chest is hot. The rule replaces the rush. The protocol replaces the plea. Counter intel by silence. You harvest while others perform. Ask pointed questions that force detail into daylight and then speak last. Which date did the scope change? Which email authorized the extension? What remedy are you seeking in writing? Keep messages short and factual, one claim per sentence. No adjectives you will later regret. Replace "you always mislead" with "on 10/12, the shipment arrived" without the appendix. Over days, contradictions collect themselves. Your quiet is not emptiness. It is a sieve. You do not out-argue. You outwait. You let their story carry its own weight until the weak beams crack in public daylight. Red team yourself daily. Spend 10 minutes as your enemy and list your 3 cheapest exploits: price, time, optics. Price. Where are you undercharging, vague in scope, or eating change orders? Patch today with a flaw, a clause, or a change order template. Time. Where can they corner you with artificial deadlines? Answer now or lose it. Install response windows and publish them in your signature so urgency cannot trespass. Optics. Where does your face leak insecurity, nervous laugh, rushed voice, fidgeting hands? Train neutral jaw, soft eyes, and still hands until they are default under stress. Thinking like an adversary is not cruelty, it is hygiene. You do not hate them, you simply refuse to be cheap to attack. Boundary execution proves your map is not theater. State terms once, enforce quietly, escalate once. Terms, price, scope, timelines, behavior, channels written in short lines that a stranger can read. Enforcement. When crossed, act without lecture, revise the invoice, pause access, move the conversation to a single thread, reschedule with a witness. Escalation. If the pattern continues, execute a single consequence that closes the loop, end the engagement, remove a role, involve counsel. Repetition teaches your opponents to treat rules as rumors. One clean action teaches better than a week of speeches. Run the system through modern scenes so it lives in the hand, not just the head. Negotiation. A vendor claims costs doubled and demands agreement tonight. Your grid shows their time and fear are high. Pre-commitments fire. No live negotiation, no surprise face. You breathe, note, delay. Counter intel by silence. Please send the itemized changes with receipts and the clause permitting adjustment. Response window anchors. I'll reply by 10 a.m. Red team yourself. Are you exposed on scope? Patch with a signed change order before you approve anything. Boundary. If proof aligns, you update the schedule and price. If it does not, you pause work until documentation is complete. One calm step replaces 100 emotional steps. Dating. A late night. Come now. Text tests whether urgency can buy your attention. Grid. Their status play is high. Time set to now. Pre-commitment save you. Acknowledge. Do not answer. Let's plan Thursday at 7. Red team optics. You refuse to perform neediness. Your calendar carries your standard. Boundary. If pressure returns, access reduces, then closes. You do not punish. You shape incentives. People rise to the standard that does not move. Workplace conflict. A manager labels you not collaborative. You pause one breath and ask for examples in writing. Counter intel by silence. Which meetings? Which dates? Propose a 2-week probe with decisions tracked in a shared doc and responsibilities assigned. Red team your weak flank. Do you interrupt? Hoard information. Reply late. Patch. 1 today. publish a weekly summary, set a response window, share files by default. Boundary. If labels replace specifics, add a witness and move to formal review. You are not rude, you are exact. Rooms learn to bring receipts, not rumors. Keep the dashboard alive. At day's end, spend 5 minutes updating the grid. Did any score change? Which question produced the most data? Which tell did you remove? Where did you act once? Mark one patch for tomorrow. Your aim is not to win every skirmish. It is to raise the cost of exploiting you. With a living grid, practiced, quiet, and disciplined execution, your future becomes less about luck and more about design. Do not confuse kindness with softness. Kindness is a choice inside form. Softness is the absence of form. The enemy mind system gives you form. See incentives, slow decisions, harvest by silence. Think like a rival, act once. You need not be feared, you must be respected. Respect arrives when your timing is steady, your records are clean, and your boundaries fire without spectacle. The opponent who cannot bait you into speed cannot price you cheaply. The ally who can rely on your windows and your notes will trust your word more than your smile. You are not trying to read minds. You are reading patterns, gain, fear, status, time, and writing your own pattern into the field. A prince who governs himself governs the negotiation. You will feel heat. You will not spend your future to cool 1 hour. You will hear loud offers. You will answer in writing when your facts are complete. You will see bait. You will let it pass and watch the hook drift harmlessly by. See the motive, slow the move, execute once. Move like a judge, think like a spy, and spend your anger as if it were gold rarely, and only on verdicts. The dividend of clarity arrives when you stop pretending. When motives are mapped and your tells are sealed, noise fades and offers improve. You study what people want, not what they say, and the fog thins. The vendor who sells urgency meets your silence and returns with itemized costs and a longer warranty, because you are not farmed by alarms. The colleague who lives on spectacle finds no stage. Your face gives them nothing, so they switch from performance to proof. You read meetings by incentives, not volume. You separate appetite from argument, and the map changes. Fewer detours, fewer traps, more straight roads to value. Realism does not drain hope, it fertilizes it. People bring you better terms because they can predict your boundaries and trust your receipts. Clarity compounds in your habits. You ask for documents, not promises. You define the line between advice and authority, between brainstorming and commitment. When someone requests flexibility, you translate it into cost, risk, and ownership. Half the conflict dies at the translation table. You publish your terms once and keep them. You decline to pay for other people's panic and reward early signals with time. Offers sharpen because ambiguity stops paying dividends. Even rivals approach you straight, not sideways, because crooked arguments cannot find purchase on a surface that does not grip them. In this light, talent prefers your room. They can plan their work without guessing your mood. Prosperity follows predictability. From survival to strategy, this is the turn. When tempo is mastered, you set terms and others adapt to your pace. You do not race the fire, you schedule the burn. Your response windows are visible fast for true emergencies, deliberate for everything else. You move late when facts are mature and land clean when noise is spent. A manager bursts in at 4 p.m. with a crisis. You thank them, route it to tomorrow's triage, and by morning the crisis has shrunk into a task with an owner and a date. A competitor releases a loud feature. You wait a week, gather failure modes, and ship one quiet update that erases their advantage without waking your house at midnight. Your presence edits the room. voices lower, claims tighten, and deadlines turn from drama into schedules. Authority is not a tone, it is timing. Strategy is logistics. You standardize the path from idea to decision. Facts, options, trade-offs, owner, date. Reversals require new data, not new moods. You move conversations from chat to documents and documents to signatures. You design exits before entrances, so correction never depends on pride. You keep a small number of bright lines and keep them bright. This removes the latitude for chaos to buy attention. Vendors stop testing for panic and start preparing for review. Colleagues stop inventing emergencies to jump the queue because emergencies no longer purchase access. In this weather, partners invest, talent stays, and enemies waste energy guessing at a meltdown that never arrives. Now, the quiet crown. A long table, glass behind you, a city humming like a low drum. You have already mapped the likely strike and the second order, effect. Heat comes an accusation, a blown estimate, a demand to decide now. You absorb it without smoke. You ask for the ledger, the owner, the failure mode. One project is cut, one safeguard is added, one date is moved and made final. You speak for less than a minute. You do not raise your voice. The room lowers theirs. The memory of the one time you had to be hard, precise, humane, final finishes most of the governance for you. People stop arguing to impress you and start reporting to satisfy you. Enemy mind did not breed paranoia. It bought peace. Because you anticipated motives, you stopped paying the tax of surprise. Because you sealed your tells, you could afford to wait. Fewer crises, better timing, stronger alliances. Decisions that land clean because they were built on facts instead of fumes. You did not try to be loved by everyone. You made it safe to work with you. Even rivals prefer your border to their storm because your consequences arrive on time and in proportion. This is the payoff of disciplined foresight. A quieter mind that sets terms instead of chasing them, and a world that learns your beat and profits by it. Map motives, hide hunger, move once, and land clean.